Welcome everyone. Today we will see about the human reproduction from chapter 8. Human beings show sexual reproduction. We all know that human beings can do only the sexual reproduction. No such asexual reproduction is seen inside the human. Male parent produces male gametes, that is called sperms, and female parent produces female gametes, that is called ova. So male parent produces a male gamete, that is known as sperms, and the female parent will produce a female gamete, that is known as ova. Sperms have tail and are therefore motile, means if we will see the structure of sperm, it will look like that. So one tail is present, that's why they are motile. Motile means they can change their place from one area to another area. Okay, they are produced in large numbers in the testis. So inside the testis, that is the male reproductive organ, and inside this the sperms are produced. Next, ovum. Ovum is bigger and non-motile. Ovum is bigger and it is non-motile, means it cannot change its place from one place to another by own. Only one ovary produces one ovum in 1 month, means from the ovary only one ovum is produced in a month. Okay, there is no food stored in the sperms, whereas ova contains stored foods, means inside the sperm there is no such food, but inside the ovum there are food stored inside this ovum. Okay, both the gametes are microscopic, means with our naked eye we cannot see these gametes. Both the gametes we cannot see, they are microscopic, unicellular, and have half the number of chromosomes as compared to the body cells. That means n number of chromosomes are present, whereas inside the human we have 2n number of chromosomes. Inside the gametes, male or female, there are half number of gametes are present. When they will fused, they will form the 2n. Okay, means from mother one n will come, from father one n will come. After that they will become the 2n. Next we will see puberty. What is this? Human beings become reproductively active from the onset of puberty, means this is the period from which the humans become reproductively active. Okay, it is the period during adolescence when the rate of general body growth begins to slow down and reproductive tissue begin to mature, means in the time of 10 to 12 the puberty period is started, means this is the adolescent timing. When I am adding someone, puberty is the period during adolescence when the rate of general body growth begins to slow down, means after 10 to 12 years the inside the human body the growth rate, means general growth rate becomes slow down and the reproductive tissues begin to mature. Onset of puberty in human males, that is between 11 to 13 years of age, while in human female, that is between 10 to 12 years of age. Okay, so puberty is associated with many physical, mental, emotional, psychological changes in boys and girls, means when this puberty period starts, then physical, mental, emotional and physiological changes will happen inside the boys and girls both, and it occurs slowly over a period of time. These are called secondary sexual characters. For instance, thick dark hair starts growing in the new parts of the body such as armpit, genital area, between the thigh. Thinner hair appears on legs, arms and face. Skin becomes oily and pimples may appear on the face. Individuals become more conscious of their bodies, become more independent, more aggressive, etc. That means the physical and mental both changes occurred in this timing. Okay, so next is puberty. Another some points, that is, in case of boys, beard and mustache starts appearing, voice begins to crack, reproductive organs develop and starts producing releasing sperms. Okay, so in case of girls, the breast size begin to increase, skin of the nipple darkens, menstruation starts, and the act of mating between male and female partner is termed as copulation. So it is one important definition. Okay, the act of mating between male and female partner, that is termed as copulation. So this is very important definition. Okay, so this one goes for the puberty. Next we will see the reproductive system of male and female. So first is the male reproductive system. So male reproductive system consists of the following components, that is one pair of testes. See, one pair of testes is present, a system of ducts. Three types of ducts are present, that is epididymis, vas deferens, and urethra. See, this is urethra. Wait, this one is urethra. This duct is known as urethra. And vas deferens, this one and this one, this is vas deferens. And another one is epididymis. So epididymis is just the covering of the testicles, that is epididymis. A system of glands are present, that is seminal vesicle, prostate glands, and Cowper's gland. So seminal vesicles, that is behind the bladder. See, this one is the seminal vesicle, and it is behind the bladder, urinary bladder it is situated. Next is prostate gland. See, this one is prostate gland. Okay, next is Cowper's gland. A copulatory organ, that is called penis, means it helps in the copulation, means the mating between the male and female partner. So this penis helps in this process. Next we will see what is testis and what process is being done inside this. So one pair of testes are present in a bag-like structure, that is called scrotum. So two testes, that means one pair of testes, it is present in a bag-like structure, that is called scrotum, which lies outside the abdominal cavity. It lies outside the abdominal cavity. It is not present inside our abdomen. It lies outside the abdominal cavity. Hence, they are extra-abdominal in position. So, they are extra-abdominal in position. This is so because the testes have to be maintained at 1 to 3 degree lesser temperature than the body in order to produce functional sperms. Means sperms need some lower temperature than the body. That's why this testis is present outside of their body, and it maintain 1 to 3 degree lesser temperature than the body to produce the functional sperms or healthy sperms. Okay. Testis release a male sex hormone, that is called testosterone. So testis release the male sex hormone, that is called testosterone, and the function of testosterone is it regulates the production of sperm. Means testosterone hormone is present inside the testes, that's why they can regulate the production of sperm. Bring about changes in appearance seen in boys at the time of puberty, means just due to the presence of this testosterone, in the puberty time the changes appears inside the boys. Okay. Next, function of testis. So to produce male gametes, that is sperms, it is one important function of testis to produce male reproductive hormone, that is testosterone. Means these testes produce the male reproductive hormone, that is the testosterone, which is responsible for producing sperms as well as secondary sexual characteristics in male. So 2 or 3 functions we can say. First one is they produce the male gametes, that is sperms, and second one they produce the male reproductive hormone, that is testosterone, and they are responsible for the secondary sexual characteristics in male in the timing of puberty. Okay. Next, system of ducts. As we have seen, some ducts are present inside the male reproductive organ. So it is attached to testis is a highly coiled tube called epididymis. Means just think, if it will be the testis, on that one area is like that, and inside these highly coiled tubes are present, that is known as epididymis. The sperms are stored here. Inside the testis the sperms are produced and it will be stored inside the epididymis. Okay, and they mature in the epididymis. Inside the epididymis the sperms will be stored and they will be matured also. Each epididymis leads into the sperm duct or the vas deferens. See, if I will go to the picture again, see, the testes will be produced inside these testicles, and after that this not visible. Okay, wait. See, if we will see this picture, then we can say that inside this testicle the sperms will be produced, and this portion is known as epididymis. So thus after producing the sperms will be stored inside this epididymis, and here it will be matured also. After that, through this vas deferens, it will come to the seminal vesicle. Okay, so after that, let's see. See, each epididymis leads into sperm duct or the vas deferens. Each vas deferens rises up and enters into the abdominal cavity. As I had told that after producing the sperms inside the testes, it will go through the vas deferens into the abdominal cavity, and it unites with the duct coming from the urinary bladder to form a common duct, that is urethra. See the picture again. Means, see, when these sperms will come into this area, after that it will come through the penis and it will come through the urethra to come outside of the body. Okay. So it is called the urethra. It is one duct also, which passes through the penis and opens to the outside. Along the way, the ducts of 3 glands also open and pour their secretion into the vas deferens. So, along the ways means along these ways, the duct of 3 means 3 glands secrete some fluids also. So, through this duct, this the liquid of these 3 glands also comes open and they pour their secretion into the vas deferens. Next is function of the vas deferens. It is meant for the passage of the sperms in the male body. Means the vas deferens, this is the seminal vesicle, and this tube is known as vas deferens. So what is the function of this vas deferens? It is meant for the passage of the sperms. Means when the sperms will be produced inside the testes, and when they will be developed inside the epididymis, after that it will go to the seminal vesicle, the abdominal cavity, through the vas deferens. So the function of vas deferens is to pass the sperms into the abdominal cavity. Next, function of the glands. They produce different secretion which provide nutrition as well as a medium of locomotion to the sperm. So what is the function of all the glands? These glands will produce some different types of secretions which provide the nutritions as well as the medium for locomotion of the sperms. And the secretion of 3 glands along with the sperms is known as semen. So what type of liquid is produced through these glands? This all the liquids, and along with the sperm, this is known as semen. Next, function of urethra. It is the common passage for both semen and urine from the body to the outside. So this is the common passage. Through this, urine can come and also the semen can come. Next is penis. It is the organ which is used to introduce semen into the female body. It is richly supplied with blood vessels. Means inside that many blood vessels are present, and this helps to transfer the semen from the male body to female body. This is the main organ to transfer.
Ma'am, your voice is low.
So next is female reproductive organ. Okay, so it consists of the following components, that is a pair of ovaries, a pair of fallopian tubes or oviduct, uterus and vagina. So see, a pair of ovaries, these two are ovaries. Inside these ovums will be produced. After that, one pair of fallopian tube, these two tube like formation is present here. Okay. Next, a uterus or womb, this one is known as uterus. This is uterus or womb. And last one is vagina. This portion is known as vagina. Through this side, the sperms will come inside the uterus. What I had told? Ovary. Ovary is the almond shaped structure. See, this is almond shaped structure and it is present inside the abdominal cavity. As we have seen that the male reproductive organ present outside the abdominal cavity, but here is the difference that the female reproductive organ is present inside the abdominal cavity. Okay. At the time of birth, each girl child already contains thousands of immature ova. Means, as we have seen that only one ovum will be developed to fertilize with the sperm, but thousand numbers of ovum will be produced inside the ovary, but only a single ovum will be matured to fertilize and for the ovulation process. Okay, and this ova starts maturing only from the time of puberty. Means, when the puberty periods come for the girls or for the females, this ova starts maturing only from the time of puberty. Only one ovum is produced by one ovary in 1 month, and each ovary releases an ovum in alternate months. Means, just think, from left side one ovum released, and in the next month from the right ovary, the next month the next the next ovum will be released. The release of an ovum from the ovary into the abdominal cavity, that is known as ovulation. Means, after the maturation of one single ovum from the ovary, it will be released in every month. This release process is known as ovulation. Okay, next we will see the function of ovary. So the function of ovary is to produce and release ova, to produce female reproductive hormone, that is estrogen and progesterone. So if there will be question that which hormones will be produced inside the ovary, and also the question can be name some female reproductive organs. So the female reproductive organs are estrogen and progesterone. Inside the male we have seen it was the testosterone, and in the female it is estrogen and progesterone. After that we will see about the fallopian tube. There are two fallopian tubes. As we have seen, if this will be our uterus, two ovaries are present here, and from these two tubes are also present. These two tubes are known as fallopian tubes, and finger-like structures are present on that. That is known as fimbriae. The two fallopian tubes unite to form an elastic bag structure, that is called uterus. Means, this uterus. This is one bag-like structure. And next, the function of fallopian tube. It is the site of fertilization between male and female gametes. So, when the ovum will be produced inside the ovary, it will come outside the ovary through ovulation, and then inside the fallopian tube. Just think, if it will be the fallopian tube and here the ovary is present, when ovum will come outside the ovary, that will come inside the fallopian tube, and inside this fallopian tube, when sperms will come, it will be fertilized inside the fallopian tube. This fertilization is being done. It is the site of fertilization between female and male gametes, and the formation of the zygote early embryo. Means, after this fertilization, their zygote will be produced. Next is uterus. So we have seen uterus is like that. The inner lining of the uterus is richly supplied with blood vessels. Means, inside the uterus, in the inner lining, number of blood vessels are present, and it is known as endometrium. So it is known as endometrium. The narrow end of uterus is known as cervix. Means, this last portion, this is known as cervix. Okay, what is the function of uterus? The embryo formed inside the fallopian tube that comes down. Means, see, if it will be the fallopian tube, when the embryo will be formed inside the fallopian tube, it will come to the uterus. It will then come to the uterus, and it will be attached with the endometrium, this inner lining, that is endometrium. So after fertilization, the zygote will come to the endometrium, and that will be implanted, and it will develop for the next 9 months till the baby is delivered. Okay, next one is vagina. So the opening of the uterus, that is known as vagina, and it is through the cervix. The vagina is a muscular tube through which the baby is delivered at the end of 9 months. Means, through this area the baby will be delivered, and it also serves as the canal for receiving the semen at the time of copulation. Means, through this canal the semen also comes inside the uterus. Okay, the semen is discharged into the vaginal tract during copulation. The sperms travel upwards. Means, the sperm will travel upward direction. See, when the sperm will be sperm will come here, it will go to the upward direction, and as I had told, it will go to the fallopian tube, and here the fertilization will be occurred. The zygote, after the fertilization, the zygote divides and redivides as it descends into uterus. Means after some cell division, they will come inside the uterus, and here it will be implanted. And the embryo gets implanted in the endometrium. The endometrium thickens so as to receive the embryo. So the endometrium become thick when they will receive the embryo. The embryo gets nutrition from the mother's blood. So this embryo, when this after fertilization the embryo will be produced, they will get their nutrition from the mother's blood with the help of a special tissue that is called placenta. Okay, so we can see that when the baby will take birth, outside that baby one layer is found that is known as placenta. Means inside this placenta the baby will be produced, and it will take all the nutrition from this, which is a disc like structure embedded in the uterine wall. Means if it will be the uterus, here one disc like structure will be present. Through this one tube will come, and the baby will be attached with this tube. Okay, while on the mother side the blood spaces surround the villi. Villi produces a large surface area for glucose and oxygen to pass from mother to developing embryo. Means this placenta, this is the placenta, and this placenta will help to transfer the glucose, oxygen from the mother to the developing embryo. Okay, and the waste materials also pass from the embryo to the mother through this placenta. So the waste materials which is producing inside the baby, that will be transferred to the mother's body through this placenta again. When the embryo starts resembling a human is formed, it is termed as fetus. Means when it will look like an human, then it will be termed as fetus. The fetus continues to develop inside the uterus for almost 9 months, after which the baby is delivered as a result of rhythmic contraction in uterine muscles. Means when the baby will be 9 or 10 months old, then it will come outside from the uterus, and the uterine wall help to come outside the baby through the muscle contraction. The baby will come outside from the uterus of the mother's body. Next, that is menstruation. It is one process, and this is the loss of blood. Means some amount of blood will be lost from the female body, and mucus along with the unfertilized ovum and the ruptured cells and tissues of the endometrium through the vagina of the female. Means as we have seen that number of ovums will be produced inside the ovary, but only one will be developed. So the remaining ovums will come to the uterus, and the layering of endometrium will come outside the vagina of the female body. This full process is known as menstruation. It is a 28-day cycle which occur in every reproductively active female. That is from puberty it will be started. The flow of blood continues for 2 to 8 days. If the ovum does not get fertilized, then the endometrium starts slowing off, and there is loss of blood and mucus, etc. Means if the developed ovum will not be fertilized with the sperm, then it will come outside of the body of the female through vagina. This process is menstruation. In case the ovum gets fertilized, then the endometrium becomes thick and spongy for nourishing the embryo. Means if the egg will be fertilized with the sperm, then it will be attached with the uterus and it will form the embryo. So then the endometrium will not be shed off. Okay, then they will thicken the wall. Hence, after fertilization, the menstruation does not occur. A lady with a developing embryo in her womb is termed as pregnant. The beginning of menstruation of puberty is known as menarche. The stoppage of menstruation when the woman is 45 to 55 years age, that is menopause. These two is very important. What do you mean by menarche and menopause? So when the puberty or the menstrual period will be started inside a woman, that is known as menarche, and the stoppage of menstrual period when the woman is 45 to 55 years of age, this time is known as menopause. Okay, so now tell me, Till this one, you have understood or not? Okay, see. So what I had told, in the reproductive health, sexually transmitted disease and birth controls are there. Means sexually transmitted disease, that means the disease which are transmitted from one person to another by the sexual contact, and through the process of birth control, this type of disease can also be transmitted. A number of disease occur as a result of sexual intercourse. Means when any couple is doing the sexual intercourse, in that time number of disease can transmit if one of the partner is infected. Means in between male and female, if any one is infected by that, then this disease can be transmitted to the another one. These are known as sexually transmitted disease or STD. So there can be a question that what is the full form of STD? That will be sexually transmitted disease. They can be caused by bacteria. For example, syphilis, gonorrhea. These are the example of sexually transmitted disease. Or caused by a virus, for example, HIV, AIDS, warts, etc. So these are the disease caused by viruses also. So, the transmission of this disease can be avoided by using birth control measures such as wearing condom during the sexual act. So, this type of disease can be avoided by using the birth control system. So, the birth control measures, using the birth control measures like wearing a condom during the sexual act. Okay, next we will see some birth control measures. They can be mechanical, chemical, surgical. So, the birth control measures are three types: mechanical, chemical, or surgical. So, at first we will see the mechanical methods. These are used to prevent the passage of semen to the fallopian tube. Means by this method, if the couples are using this method, then by this mechanical method, the semen cannot go inside the fallopian tube. So, first process is use of condoms. Condoms are thin rubber tubes worn over the penis before sexual intercourse. Means before sexual intercourse, the penis will be first covered by a thin rubber tubes, that means condom. The semen gets collected in this and is not discharged into the vagina. So in this time, after the copulation, the semen which is ejected from the penis, that will be collected inside the condom, that will not be discharged into the vagina. Okay, so this is the birth control measure. Next one is diaphragm. It is a thin rubber fixed over a flexible metal ring. Means on a metal ring that will be flexible, and on that ring thin rubber will be fixed, which is fitted over the cervix in a woman's body by a doctor. So this is fitted over the cervix, means inside the uterus this will be fitted in the woman's body. This is the second mechanical method. The third one is intrauterine contraceptive device or IUCD. So it is intrauterine contraceptive device or loop. It is inserted in the uterus, and its insertion causes certain secretion which prevent the implantation of the embryo to the uterine wall. As I had told that the embryo will be formed after the fertilization inside the fallopian tube. So when this embryo means when the embryo will be produced, they will come to the uterus, and in the uterus it will be implanted. But this intrauterine contraceptive device will secrete some liquids that prevent the embryo to do the implantation inside the uterus. Okay. So both methods 2 and 3 cause side effects. Means these two method has some side effects. Means it can damage the uterine wall, it can damage the area where it is fixed. So that's why there is some side effects. Okay. So we have seen about the mechanical methods of birth control. Next we will go to chemical methods. So use of spermicides, means these are strong sperm killing chemicals available in the form of cream, jelly, etc., which are injected into the vagina just before copulation. Means some liquid or cream or jellies that will be injected inside the vagina after the copulation. When sperm or semen already have gone inside the vagina, then anyone can take this cream, jelly or liquid inside the vagina, then the sperm will be killed by this. So this is the use of spermicides. Next is oral contraceptive pills. Oral means we have to swallow it. These are hormonal pills, means these are some medicines which prevent ovulation but do not stop menstruation. Means, as I had told, inside the ovary so many number of ovums will be produced, and any one of it will become a large ovum, and after development it will come outside the ovary and then it will go to the fallopian tube. So this process is known as ovulation, as I had told. So by taking oral contraceptive pill, these are the hormonal pills, this will prevent this ovulation, means this will break this ovulation process, but menstruation will not be stopped. Menstruation will be going on as usual. Okay, so these two are the chemical methods, because we are taking some medicines or steroids or some chemical things to do the birth control. Okay, next is surgical method. So first one, surgical method means we have to face some operation or some surgery. Okay, that's why this is surgical methods. So first one is vasectomy. It involves the cutting and ligating the vas deferens in male. As we have seen that the thin tube of the male reproductive system, that is known as vas deferens. So if this vas deferens will be cut, just think this is the tube of and it is known as vas deferens. Just they have cut it and they have tied with something or sealed this area, so the sperm cannot come this side. This is known as vasectomy. This process is known as vasectomy. Okay, next is tubectomy. It involves cutting and ligating reproductive organ, the fallopian tube in female. As you have seen, if this will be the ovary, this is the fimbriae, and after that fallopian tube is present. If we will cut the fallopian tube, then this ovum will not go outside of the fallopian tube to be fertilized with the sperm. So this is one surgical method also. So inside the male, when the vas deferens will be cut, then it is known as vasectomy. Inside the female, when the fallopian tube will be cut, then it is known as tubectomy. Okay, next is medical termination of pregnancy or abortion. Means if anyone is pregnant, any woman is pregnant, they want to terminate the pregnancy period, that is known as medical termination of pregnancy. It is carried out to eliminate the developing embryo. Means embryo has been formed already, but they want to eliminate, they want to delete that embryo or erase that embryo from their body. So this is the medical terminating pregnancy. This practice can, however, be misused to carry out female feticide, which involves the killing of female. Means sometimes in the previous timings, not now, when USG or ultrasonography is being done on the woman, pregnant woman, then this sex can be identified, or by doing some blood test, the sex of the baby or the embryo can be identified. After identifying, many couples have done this medical terminating pregnancy because they have seen that the baby is a girl. That's why they have terminated the pregnancy period. So after these illegal things, government has given some law that the sex determination will not be done when they are in the fetus condition or in the embryo condition. Means when they are inside the womb. After birth they will know, but before birth this is illegal. So now this process is not done. So it should be avoided at all cost, as it disturbs the male female ratio, because if female will not be born, then the female male ratio will be hampered. So that's why one imbalance will come in the environment. So this process has been terminated, or this process has been closed, means the sex germination process in the fetus timing or inside the placenta, this program has been cancelled. Okay, so this was the surgical methods.